Welcome to our Tea with the Team today, guys. I'm super excited to be back. And so some crazy things have been happening the last couple of weeks with Nate in his life. And so I just wanted to feature him a little bit. Nate is one of our group experts on marketplace sellers. And he kind of did a follow-up, kind of like our Dorito man Alex, with beans and a boot, or is it a shoe? Anyway, either way, it sounds dirty.
Yeah, so my turn to talk. So yeah, I was really frustrated with the way marketplace is working, and like everybody else, struggling with views and clicks or whatever, and just really frustrated. And I guess where I differ from some folks is that take my frustration out a little different. So I ended up having this idea just from, it's an internet subculture thing. Beans are really, for some reason, connect with people. So I had the great idea to fill my old shoe with beans and post it online for sale. And it has gotten rave reviews. I am up to almost 20,000 clicks this week on that particular ad. And then I also have a variant. So we can talk about that in length if you want and how that works for me. I also posted one. It's the same shoe, same beans, but I rolled up a piece of ham and stuffed that in there. And that one, for whatever reason, people love it. And so in both of those, I've also planted links to my other products, particularly this one that I brought here with me today. It's called the Bean Scrubber. And this is actually something that I'm trying to sell and market. It's a dish wand full of beans. If you can see it. Then we can talk about that more in length later too, if anybody wants to. I just don't want to harp on about myself. But both of those things have really turned around for me. My views went from pretty much nothing to, like I said, I'm up to 20,000 clicks, and I've talked to over 100 different people, and I've gotten all kinds of followers to my commerce profile, to my business page. It's just exploded. So I don't know how that can work for somebody else, but that's essentially what's happened for me.
So Tish has a question for you. Go ahead, Tish.
Nate, has the traffic gotten you more reviews on your other listings and things as well? I heard you say that you got more followers and things, but is it straight out transferring into dollar amounts for you?
Not yet. That's the stage I'm in. So I'm still in proof of concept with the actual products. The post itself at first was a total joke. I mean, yeah, obviously I'll ship a shoe full of beans to somebody if they want it, because it's the spirit of marketplace. You don't want to mislead anybody, but it was really literally just a joke. So I was caught completely off guard. But as to my other listings, so I planted the link to Bean Scrubber in there. That is the actual product I want people to buy. And yes, it has definitely generated views now on that listing as well. As far as the other things, it's been a little harder to get people to, in the immediate, click on the links that were not getting any views before, just because those products are slow moving by nature. But what I hope to do is turn these followers on my commerce profile, my business page now are going to be looking at my shop. And and so it's really translates into the future. It's not necessarily an immediate thing. It can be. Marcus's music. I don't know what that is.
Sorry, I'm trying to do something else now.
He's just an attention hog. That's all.
Yeah. So sorry. Long story short, yes and no. Sorry if that makes sense. We're still working with Alex to try and translate the clicks into a monetary value. I'm just not as good at marketing.
That's the magic. So that's what I was hoping you had the magic formula.
That's kind of what we wanted to talk about today was, how to take something that's trending and doing well and translate that into sales for yourself. So what Marcus is showing over here is the shoe filled with beans and then the ham surprise. Do you want to talk about that really quick, Marcus, what you're showing us?
Sure. So I just pulled up Nate's, I believe this one is on your personal marketplace. And And I've searched for it a couple of times, and this is what you search for. And I think Nate and I were talking quite a bit about this on and off over the last couple of weeks. It's been pretty, I'm, what's the word? Vicariously living through the bean shoe. And is the word bean and shoe or boot falls in really close to LL Bean's boots. And so I think part of it, of course, marketplace is a snowball effect. So once you get a couple clicks, then they broaden it a little bit. You get some more, and it broaden, and then it's then you have an avalanche that you can't really control. But yeah, here's the ham surprise, and what else you got in here? Yeah, the bean boot. So yeah, that's what I got pulled up here.
So one of the things I wanted to do with you guys today is talk about some of the ideas and things that he could do to be able to take what he has, the traffic, and translate it into sales. One of the ideas that Nate and I talked about was because he makes a lot of handcrafted like stickers and things like that, would be to plant those in the listing, or also as a side thing to be able to do. So right now he's got the hand one. I think you could probably do more also to be able to add that to, for example, your business page, the entire listing, and be able to help boost that, and or make videos. There's a video also that he did where he planted you want to talk about what you did, Nate, where you planted that? I don't know if you have the video of that or not, Marcus, but do you want to talk about that?
Sure. So again, long story short, there is a backstory, but I made I emptied a dish soap bottle and redid the labeling and filled it with beans, and then took it down to the grocery store and put it on the shelf. And I recorded myself doing that, and I posted it online in my Instagram. I think last time I checked, it had like 4,000 plays on the reel. And all that has my tagging on it and my business listing or my business page. So for eternity now, every time that gets shared, it's going to drive people back into my business page and into my shop.
It's actually a pretty cute video where he like plants a product in a grocery store, just as a joke. And I guess it's a thing that people do and I've seen people do that kind of stuff before. Oh, there it is. Okay, go ahead, Marcus.
That's it.
That's the whole video. So he's just kind of taken it and planted it in the store. I told him he could do like a series of, every day it adds to it. Like one day you put it on the shelf, the next day you, maybe watch people looking at it in like, what is this? Trying to figure it out, and just kind of the story that goes beyond that. Marilyn, you had something you wanted to say earlier. It's so funny. Marilyn, you're still muted.
No, I'm good. I wanted to know if he listed the shoe as a item for sale or just as a posting or what. But I saw it was listed.
I don't know if he knows how to ship it yet, if someone actually bought it, but you do know how. He's figured it out.
Basically. So I've been telling people, we'll put it in a Ziploc bag, and then you get to deploy the beans really easy.
So the biggest, does anybody have any more ideas on some different ways that he can use this as a tactic to send people over to other products to get them to purchase and or follow his business page?
I mean, I think the posting a link to either the business page or, I think he has stickers, decals, has to do with the bean in there. I personally have done that, where let's say I have for example, leggings, and they have, different, same size, but different patterns. And at the bottom, I'll say something like also offering or something. And sometimes I'll have 1, 2, or 3 additional links. But, because if they looked at that one and they may like, I don't know if I like, but if they see that, then they may just keep going, but it keeps them in, within what I'm offering. But then also there's a chance of like a bundle too. So, I've done that type of thing, or like, had a top and a bottom that I thought went together, same basic size, or roughly. I'm not selling them together because I was given advice a long time ago when you're selling stuff to list it individually. But then if they want, and usually I'll say something like, happy to bundle or happy to, combine and save on shipping. You say anything like that right before the link. But because the link stays within Facebook, I've not had any issue with it in terms of getting through a review.
Right. So what you're saying is don't put a link outside of Facebook to like another website or anything like that, because you're keeping them on the platform, and that's the most important thing, is keeping people on the platform.
Well, yeah, I mean, in terms of, for sales, but also, like I said, in keeping in mind, not having an issue with review or ban or, any of that type of stuff, because I'm staying within the meta universe type of thing. So they seem to be okay with that. I've done it for months now, where I can, and it seems to pay off. Now, the only bad thing about that is that when you delete and list, whatever, it changes the link. So you have to go back in and maintain it. So, there's nothing worse than a dead link. But I guess you could also, like, you could put a link to your commerce profile or a link to your business page, just anything to keep them in there, right? But like I was saying, I'm pretty sure Nate's got decals now that has something to do with the beans. So what he might do is have a link to that, which gets him, into his inventory, I think. Because I think once you're looking at that, you can say, well, what else does the shop offer? And then maybe after that, a link to the whole business page, type of thing, just at the bottom, because if it's a link, it's a hyperlink, people are, they're more likely to follow that, if they don't have to like cut and paste or search and scan and all that type of thing. That's, that's the one idea that I have kind of leveraged. I mean, I don't have a shop, I don't have a business page, whatever. I just have a whole bunch of, personal profile listings, but that's how I've kind of done it, type of thing. And it's worked okay. In that regard. I mean, I can't say I've gotten a lot that way, but what I never know is that somebody was looking at this item and then they looked at a different item and they bought the second item. I can't tell, right? But I'm still, I'm trying to, but also I have not had any issues. I don't think those are the I've not had much issues with review at all. When I have something get stuck in review, more times it's been I've done delete and relist, and for some reason those sometimes get stuck in review, and I don't know why. And the only solution seems to be is to delete them and manually relist them.
Start it over.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried tweaking the title, and it just doesn't usually bring it out of review when it's in review right after a delete and relist. So but it doesn't happen all the time. So there's some sort of either quirky behavior in that code, or there's a timing issue type of thing. I don't know. There's something going on in there. It's going to be hard for them to debug, probably. I mean, it can be debugged, but it's going to take somebody that's pretty determined to figure out what it is.
Well, you guys probably don't know this, but Nancy is a former what do we call it? Software developer. And so she knows all the ins and outs of all of that stuff. She's the techie behind everything, and we rely on her for a lot. Hey, Ms. Becky, you had a question or you had a comment?
Well, I was just going to, can you guys hear me? Okay. I was just going to say, where did you originally you did that on a reel on Instagram? The video?
That video there, yeah. I put it on Facebook and on Instagram Reels, just because I've been watching Zuckerberg talk about how, the reels work and how's it becoming, more popular. And I know we have India in our group that's really good at reels. I watch her reels all the time. And so I'm trying to branch out, trying to learn the technology.
Trying to be like India. Go ahead,
I was just
Vicki,
going to
sorry.
say, maybe you need to take your bean shoe on the road a little bit, like take it to some locations. And I don't know where you live or what you like to do, but take it fishing, take it camping, take it to the campfire, take it to the park.
We've actually talked about like taking it in the car just to grocery shop, Goodwill, putting it on the shelf, like letting it hang out with friends. Like we've just progressed as we go.
Yeah.
Progressing, and it just keeps getting odder and odder and odder, to be quite frank.
And get your decals to match your locations.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just an idea.
Thank you.
I just had a thought, Nate. I'm totally going to interject here because when Nancy was talking and then with Becky, it's just like all coming together for me. How about this? You know how like at Halloween people get ghosted, someone brings and leaves treats on their door and it says you've been ghosted and you have to put it on your door or whatever.
Booed. It's called booed.
Yes, booed. See, clearly I haven't gotten one in a couple of years.
I'm so sorry. I'll try to take care of that this Halloween. Do a road trip.
What if you made it, like a sticker that came with it that says I got the bean boot, or something like that. That's a play on words that they actually get. Maybe however it is. Yeah,
exactly.
I've been beaned, or I got however it is that you want it, and it goes with it, and so it's part of the gag gift that they can use to become part of that. Anyway, that's just an idea. Tish.
Oh, go ahead.
Ding dong door knock with a bean. Do it to your
Especially-
neighbors that you know and love, but a ding dong door and just leave a bean. Or a soap or a scrubber, or
Especially if you because the whole thing about that boo is you're supposed to sneak up and then run away. If you could somehow do that and maybe have like your wife back off and she's like trying to film it to see their reaction or whatever, but so a booed bag, for example, a lot of times it just has thematic things and then and various stuff, but then there's also the adult boo bag that also has like a 6-pack or something, but if you're just leaving it, so it would have to be somebody you probably know, or whatever, that wouldn't mind playing along. I mean, like you might even like stage it, and just say go outside and look at it and act surprised and try to get it on video if you can. But
then you could make it a thing that
Yeah.
people can do it to their other neighbors and friends.
oh gosh,
So that when they purchase it, they're purchasing the bean or the boot or the wand or whatever, and they get the paperwork and stuff that goes along with it, or maybe the story behind it.
a certificate.
That they can do it, and it's their responsibility to pass it on, or to keep it going. Now, one of the reasons why we wanted to feature Nate today is because we've been talking about keeping a schedule and keeping everything on a schedule. I had to have a reason for bringing this on and tying it with our theme. But Nate's been documenting the journey. And what we talked about is, how everybody goes, if you're going to lose weight, you can lose weight, but you don't know how you lost weight if you didn't document it. Well, the same concept is here. If you're going to take something and you're going to make it viral, you want to be able to benefit from it. But how did you get there? How did you become viral? And you need to know and understand the steps on how that even happened. And so that's what Nate and I have been talking about a little bit, is what are the steps that he's taken, what's worked and what hasn't worked, so that he can continue to do it. Because the bean and the boots, it has a life expectancy. It might last a week, it might last a year, it might last 2 months. But to be able to do it again, if that's his thing, he needs to know how to make that work and how to keep the virality going. I don't know if that's really a word. That's my new word. So Nate, can you talk to us and tell us like what it is that you've been able to document and what your next steps are to be able to figure this out for yourself?
Yeah, sure. So when you say document, I don't know if I've necessarily, well, I haven't written anything down per se on paper, but I do pay attention to the trends and what's going on with my listings and my shops. And I look at all those insights that they give you and I take advantage of those things. So I notice for myself, when I post in the morning, not as many people see it as when they're sitting on their behinds on the couch in the evening. And that's insights. And so I schedule my posts now, morning and night with the publisher. And, you caught me a little bit because I don't write anything down.
So basically, when Nate and I talked the other day, one of the things that we were talking about was needing to write certain things down. And he says he gets up at 3 o'clock in the morning to post his listings. And I told him, I said, you could actually schedule those posts out and, snuggle with your wife a little bit longer and stay warm in bed instead of having to get up and go and do all that work. And so it sounds like you did that so that you can give yourself a little bit more time to yourself and free your schedule up so that you can do other things that are maybe more productive or even more fun,
All my evening posts. I still get up in the morning because it's what I am doing, and I'm really enthusiastic about selling online and making a sport out of it. I see it as a game that makes me money. So I guess maybe that's where I'm a lot different from other people. But yeah, I schedule my evening posts, and it's freed up time for me to, now I can make dinner. My house is a little cleaner now. Just all the things. My business is starting to automate. I'm starting to figure out that I need, now with the Bean Shoe, has created an audience that I need to automate for because I can't be there 24/7. That's the short answer.
So does anybody have any ideas of how he could automate all the traffic from the beautiful bean footage that he's managed to put out?
I think it's just like a lot of, like with most other things, it's consistency. Keeping it. I mean, it's going to be real easy if the monetization part of it doesn't happen as fast as you want, right? Because you want it to start making you money. Otherwise, I know you're in it for money and also, personal, gratification, or that's not the right word, but to just keep at it, keep, two posts a day, or one post on the bean boot, and then 2 other posts on your other crafts that you have going on, and just keep at it and keep at it and keep at it until, at some point you'll have to decide what direction to take it, but it's probably way sooner than what your mind tells you. Your mind is going to tell you this isn't, I don't know why I'm taking pictures of beans out in the grocery store, what's going on? And then all of a sudden it'll hopefully that's the plan, is start clicking. So I think consistency is a big one, and the scheduling thing is huge. I've got pulled up. Let me see here. Yeah, it's probably not quite. Oh, planner. Obviously I have some work to do on my scheduling. The business suite is pretty powerful. You can do a lot in an hour if you sit down and schedule out your whole month, with content. Nancy, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just wondering, this whole scheduling thing, scheduling of listings and whatnot, I assume that, so using this commerce manager and not available to us simpler folks. Does anybody know if you can schedule stuff of any sort with you're just having, your personal marketplace listings?
I don't think so, but what you can do is you can draft your post. Yeah. So that, you don't have to do all the work. You just have to simply post it. But it's not quite as, you don't have the ability to schedule it, as far as I'm aware.
There was some bug having to do with drafts. It's been a while since I've done it, because I was doing a bunch of drafts and then I noticed I was getting some sort of bug. I can't remember if it was changing the shipping or I don't know, something was going on. It's driving me nuts.
Yeah, it seems to be working better. And I've also noticed, I was working with the developer of Hexalister the other day, and this is kind of a sidebar, but it has to do with drafts. The bulk lister on personal marketplace is working now.
The
where
multiple listing.
the multiple listings. I had not done it in
Yeah.
months and months and months because you couldn't do more than one video or more than one image. And to me, that defeated the whole purpose.
Right,
So,
right. Is that driven off a spreadsheet?
You can do it off a spreadsheet, or you can just do it just as on the screen itself. So
Oh, okay. I was just
I
trying to
haven't
figure out.
played around with it much, but we were using it the other day. He was testing my account with a new feature that he had, and
I see.
it was working better. But yeah, that, not automated, so to say, but at least it's takes out all the, you can do as much as you can ahead of time.
Yeah. No, I was just trying to figure out what the multiple listing, what the productivity gain of that was. Because yeah, I've seen them. Obviously, it must be working or something, or they've released it to everybody because it keeps pointing it out to me.
Sure.
Woohoo! And I'm like, tell me more.
Tell me more.
It doesn't ever have like learn more. It just says, here, want to go try it? And I'm like,
Yeah.
Well, we just wanted to tell Nate that we're really proud of him for having, such a fun
Yeah.
little project and experience. And we really want you to keep us up to date on how it's going, how you've been able to figure out how to implement more products and be able to, to post those. Some of you guys might have video available also on your listings. I know I finally got video the other day, which I was like, oh, thank you. It's been a minute since everybody else seemed to have it but me. But so they
Yeah.
are starting to roll out some of these things more permanently, which is really exciting. But being able to schedule some of these activities to make your life easier so that you're not bombarded when something does kind of go viral is really important. I love the Reels idea. I've always loved how India does that. I think it's awesome that you're taking, a page out of her book and implementing that as part of your business. Go ahead, Marcus.
Yeah. So that was, if you didn't catch it yesterday, I posted a snippet of Zuckerberg's post that
Yeah.
he did.
I
Yeah.
did.
So there's going to be a big push on Reels. And as far as I know, business pages from the get-go have access to be able to post Reels. And so Nancy, it just made me think of it, and anybody else that operates simply off of your
Regular
personal
marketplace.
commerce is you can still utilize Reels because you can still link to even on your personal page, you can still link to your individual listing that you have. Now, if you didn't want to do it as your person, right? I don't do very much on my personal profile. I keep it really simple. I see pictures of my cousins and I post a silly video every once in a while. I try, but what you can do is you can create a business page. Even if you didn't want to go down the whole avenue of managing a shop and a commerce profile and all of that, you can still have a business page, then utilize those Reels as a business versus using, if you don't want to market to your friends and family, that's totally understandable. But then that's ready to use if you ever did want to go down the route of having a shop. So.
And you might want to note that you don't have to have a shop to have a business page.
Absolutely.
And it's super simple to have a business page without having to put in your social and all this extra stuff. A business page is just a business page. It's super simple to put up. And in my opinion, your followers on your business page, they see your stuff a lot more. So even if all you did was have a business page and you posted your listings over there and then plus some extra things here and there, like what Nate does, and the little Reels or a meme or whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish on that. Eventually, if you decided you wanted to add a shop to it, you could do that. But really keeping it simple and just having a business page, and maybe even transferring some of those people over that were following you on Marketplace over to your business page. Then when you do list something on your regular Marketplace, posting it on your business page, those people are going to see it in their timelines. Go ahead, Nate.
Yeah, so as it pertains to that, that's a big part of what I've been doing with Bean Shoe is every time somebody messages me, as stupid as I respond, I try to respond to almost every single person. And every time I've talked to somebody, nearly, I've won them over in a sense that they're either following my business page or they're remembering me and they're looking back and they're no longer being silly with me anymore. They've completely, it's come full circle and they've understood, hey, the product isn't actually the bean shoe or the bean wand. It's that feeling and that connection that we just made as two complete strangers. And now this person's following my business page and going to be interacting and going to be buying things down the road. And they have no idea yet that I've just done that to them.
Mhm. Really good. Really great job, Nate. Really great job. Well, let's close up this segment and let's open up our questions. Does anybody have any questions or anything that's going on Marketplace that you guys are trying to figure out or wonder about that we can help you out with? While you guys are thinking, just so you know, we really appreciate everything that you do, all of your comments and the help that you give each other, not only on the private group, but also on the main group. We do see, we read, well, Marcus reads almost everything. I read a lot of it, but not everything like Marcus does. And Nancy is always reading everything. You guys are just really great as far as helping people and being there for people. We really appreciate it. Nancy, and then I know it's not Cheyenne. Oh, what's
Robbie.
Robbie, thank you. Let's do Nancy and then Robbie.
Sure. I just have a quick question. So I have 2 listings that were multi-quantity and they had an order against them. And so I thought you guys said that to get rid of them or to get them to shut down so you can post them again new, because these are like from October. You go in and change the quantity to 0, but every time I go in and change the quantity to 0 and I go on, it always changes it back to 1. So I'm trying to figure out, how do I get rid of those so that I can repost them fresher, because they're just buried. I mean, they're just ancient, but they have orders. Or do I have to do the the quote unquote nuclear thing? I have to do the delete and do it that way because it has orders attached to be able to.
You have to do the nuclear bomb.
Okay. All right. I just, for some reason, I had it in my head that you guys said I could change the quantity to 0. Man, I just can't get it to do it. All right.
You
That's
can, but if it's
Okay.
stuck, then it won't. Oh, go ahead, Marcus. What?
Oh, I was going to say, sometimes it'll stick, or if you use the mark as out of stock.
Oh,
So
I don't know if I've seen
available.
that. Okay.
It mark is out of stock. But sometimes there's just, it's really fun when you sell something that, it gets back to 1 and then it sells again.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Robbie.
Just wanted to ask a question about my Insight list of how many followers I have each week is not in sync with my list of followers. And I was wondering if there's a place to find the rest of the followers, or how, I need to keep those names for my marketing. And like, I'll add between, 10 and 20 new followers a week. But on my list of followers, I can only see less than 400. And this has been going on, my Insight numbers, for like 6 to 7 months.
Is this for your personal marketplace or for your business page?
For my personal marketplace.
And how are you keeping track of these people?
Well, I don't keep track of them, but I do check in to look at my followers once in a while. And if I were actually adding that many followers a week, I would guess the number of followers would grow.
I don't ever look at mine like that, so I really don't know that I could answer. I will tell you this though, on certain things like on your page insights, it used to say how many listings I have. Now it just says over 20. And it just kind of toggles back and forth. So it might be something that they only show the first 400 on. I don't know that for sure. Do you have any insight on that? I just had a
Yeah.
fun. That was pretty good.
I haven't. It seems to be the followers and the follower count hasn't been accurate for a while. Mine will jump down and then jump back up by like 30, and I only made a few sales. Like, it doesn't seem to be as accurate as it should be. And then I was just looking. There is a way to see who your followers are, and it's not allowing me on my phone anyways to scroll and see. I can only see like 20 of them. It just isn't working.
Right. Well, I counted it. I count them like about once a month, and it's never gotten over 400. And accordingly, with the number in the insights, it should be much higher. Thank you for answering that. And if I find out anything on it, I'll bring it back to the group. Appreciate it.
Sure, yeah,
Fantastic. Thank
it's
you.
not very accurate.
I used to count mine too, and then I quit counting because it was frustrating me. But that was a long time ago. I did at that point. I wasn't past 400. I kept having to go back up and be like, did I miss that? I think I didn't do that right. Let me go back and do it again. So I applaud you for having the patience to do that. Does anybody else have any questions or comments, things that you've seen? I kind of want to start. Well, if you do, raise your hand or just start talking, but I do want to say something interesting. As I was doing the research for this last Sunday's video on low and no views, Nancy has sent me some articles and stuff that were really interesting. I really believe that a lot of our low and no views has to do with how many sellers versus buyers that we have on the market. And it's just really, really important that every listing that we put on has a good title, description, tagging, all of that stuff. Someone made a comment on the main group that made me laugh. She said, someone said, this is, really good. And asked a question, and the other person said, well, did you even watch the video? And she's like, I guess I'll do that. I just thought that was so funny. And then someone else came back and said, you should do a video on tagging. And so I just went and grabbed the video and put it in. I'm like, here you go. It's been done for a couple months. Yeah. The information is there for a lot of people. If you don't see it though, let me know so that we can make it and get it ready for you guys. When we go back to, like what Nate was talking about earlier, about putting the links in, just like on YouTube, all the links that are put in to reference different things, different videos, different articles, it's the same concept on Facebook, that like what Nancy's doing, what Nate's doing. They're keeping them on. YouTube doesn't care if they keep you on the platform with that, but Facebook wants you to keep them on the platform. So if you've got things that you want to reference to, add it in the description. It doesn't seem to hurt, and it's such a good idea to cross-reference and cross-sell that way. I really like what you guys are saying. So do you have anything? Oh, go ahead, Nancy.
Sorry, I was just going to say, so somewhere I read that the videos are limited to about 600 megabyte. Now, I don't know if that's the videos with the listing or if that's reels. I want to say it's with the listing. Okay.
For the listing.
So just, so people are like, well, what the heck is that? Well, you can look at it when you obviously do the video, but just as a rough estimate, you're talking about like a 10 to 20 second video. Okay. So when you're planning something out to do a video with, like a friend of mine said she did videos with her books of all things, flipping through the pages to try to show there's no markings and kind of like maybe what's in there or whatnot. And she thinks that's why she sold her books, and a lot of mine are just sitting because I just have still photos. So she's trying to encourage me to do some videos. But I just wanted to give you guys just like a thumb rule. You're looking at like only 10 or 20 seconds. So one, you're not talking about a big thing. Two, you probably don't want audio. And three, but you got to plan it out. you got to think about, what am I going to do that's only going to last 10 to 20 seconds to keep it under that megabyte requirement.
What were you going
Um,
to say, Nate?
My earbuds died, so I don't know how good my sound is. If you notice the reels on TikTok and stuff, and those, they're like 3 to 4 seconds long. So 10 to 20 seconds might be considered too long. You might think about how long you're going to hold somebody's attention when they're just doing this with their thumb.
Scrolling.
Yeah, so I've noticed in my own metrics, because I post a lot of videos, that people tend to really not watch to the end of my videos, which is disheartening on one hand, but on the other hand, it's really helpful because now I've shortened my videos and I get a lot more views because people don't necessarily want to watch my videos for whatever reason. It's just human nature, you know. So
Two really great comments about that. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Anybody else before we close up for the day? Any last words of wisdom, Mr. Marcus Silva?
Welcome back.
Another big word of wisdom is there's yet another big winter storm going through. So people are going to be stuck home. They might
They'll
be
be on their
shopping.
computers.
Yeah,
Yep.
they might be. I mean, I got some orders, I think, because of that.
I need something from you guys because Marcus and I are planning out a bunch of months. I need to know what it is that you guys want to learn about. The last couple of months, our topics that we've come up with, I need to know what you guys want to learn. So if you could do me a favor and send Marcus or I a message on our messenger and let us know. We're going to be doing a full year of planning here soon. And we want to know what it is that you guys want to learn about so that we can be prepared and do that for you. Does that sound great?
I will make a post in the main group or in the
OSN.
group.
Yep, because we want to be able to continue doing things that work for you guys, not that just work for us. I don't think we have anything else, guys. I appreciate you guys coming, and I hope you have an amazing day. Stay warm, and hopefully you don't get hailed on.
Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.
Thank you, guys.